Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today, we're turning our attention to CVS Health, looking into their recently released first quarter 2025 results. And, well, the broader picture of their business. We've got a stack of information you shared, and the aim today is really to unpack what's most important and what it might mean for you.
That's right. We've got the earnings report itself, a pretty detailed due diligence assessment, and an analysis piece from mid-May. So, yeah, it gives us a good multifaceted view to try and see beyond just the headline numbers, get into the underlying trends and what could be coming down the pike.
Okay, good. So let's start with the financials. The Q1 2025 performance, they reported revenue of $94.6 billion. That's up 7% compared to last year's $88.4 billion. And that's a pretty solid jump in revenue.
It is, yeah. And that story kind of continues when you look at earnings per share. GAAP diluted EPS, that went up to $1.41 from $7.88. And the adjusted EPS saw an even bigger leap. From $1.31 up to $2.25. What's quite interesting, I think, is their updated full-year guidance. They're now expecting adjusted EPS somewhere between $6 and $6.20. That kind of suggests they're feeling, well, pretty positive about how things are operating for the rest of the year, profitability-wise.
That adjusted EPS number does sound quite strong. But I did spot that they slightly trimmed the full-year GAAP-diluted EPS guidance. It's now $4.03 to $4.43, down a bit from the previous $4.58 to $4.83. So what might be going on there? Why the difference between the adjusted and the GAAP figures?
That's a really good question, and it is key. The fact that adjusted is guided up while GAAP is guided down slightly, it suggests there might be some, let's say, specific items impacting the standard accounting picture. Could be things like expected one-off costs, maybe some non-cash accounting adjustments, things that get excluded from the adjusted number but still hit the GAAP bottom line. It's definitely one to watch in the next reports to see exactly what those are. But on a more positive note, their cash flow forecast, cash from operations for 2025, that's been bumped up to around $7.0 billion. So, liquidity looks healthy.
Okay, got it. Let's switch gears a bit and talk about what CVS Health actually, does. Most of us know the retail stores, right?
Yeah.
Over 9,000 of them. But there's also pharmacy services. That's the massive PBM managing drug benefits for, 88 million people. It acts as that middleman for drug costs.
Mm-hmm. Huge scale there. And then you've got the specialty pharmacy part and their healthcare innovation arm, plus the walk-in clinics, over 1,000 of those, and the insurance side, think Medicare Advantage, serving around 37 million people. It really is a very wide-ranging operation.
It really is. And this whole integrated structure seems central to their strategy.
Yeah.
What about recent operational moves? Anything stand out?
Well, a few things mentioned. Their plan to get out of the individual exchange business, that's quite notable, might signal a strategic refocus, maybe putting resources elsewhere. Also, Aetna, their insurance arm, is apparently working on improving the experience for patients and providers. And CVS Caremark updated its formulary for those GLP-1 drugs. That's a hot topic in healthcare costs right now. Oh, and there's also the announced CFO transition. That always gets investor attention, potential shifts in financial strategy.
Right. And putting this against the backdrop of the whole healthcare sector, it's always changing. Regulations, tech advancements, what patients need. CVS Health's integrated model seems kind of built for this complexity. Who are the main competitors we should be thinking about?
The materials point to Walgreens Boots Alliance, obviously, and United Health Group. Specifically, they mention Optum, which is United Health's big health services wing. And when you sort of compare them, CVS Health, with that giant PBM, has significant clout in drug price negotiations, perhaps more than Walgreens, which leans more heavily on retail pharmacy. But then you look at United Health Group, especially Optum, and they seem to show, stronger profitability and cash flows. Could be a different service mix, maybe operational setup. They each have their own sort of strengths and focus areas.
Okay, let's zoom in on CVS Health itself then. Strengths and maybe challenges or potential red flags. What stands out fundamentally?
Well, a major strength has to be that diversified model. Retail pharmacy, the PBM, insurance, multiple income streams that can provide some stability. Their sheer size is another huge factor. All those stores, all those PBM members, that's a massive market footprint. And their investments in tech, like telehealth, suggest they're looking ahead, trying to grow in digital health.
Makes sense. And on the flip side, potential challenges. You mentioned the GAAP EPS revision earlier.
Right, that downward nudge on the GAAP EPS guidance is something to watch. Does it hint at some ongoing pressure on margins? It could. It's worth pointing out, though, that their debt relative to the cash they generate seems pretty manageable from the reports we have.
So thinking about what's coming up,
Mhm.
what should people keep an eye on? Any key milestones or events?
Well, the next quarterly earnings report is always a big one. It'll give us more data points, see how they're tracking against that updated guidance. Also, how well their digital health stuff is being adopted. That'll be an important sign for future growth. And any news on expanding their primary care clinics could also be interesting for their longer term profitability picture. But, there are always risks in healthcare. Regulatory shifts, especially around drug pricing, are a constant possibility. And the competition, particularly from someone like Optum with deep pockets, isn't going away.
And the general vibe around CVS Health right now. What's the market sentiment, analysts, investors? What are they saying?
It feels like cautious optimism is probably the right phrase. People see the solid operational base, the positive adjusted earnings outlook, but that gap revision adds a note of caution. Looking at social media chatter, it seems to echo that folks acknowledge the long-term potential, especially with innovation, but they're also keeping an eye on those competitive pressures.
Okay, so let's try and boil this down for you, the listener. What are the really key takeaways from all this information we've looked at?
I think first that integration across their different business lines is really significant in how healthcare works today. It lets them connect with patients in many different ways. Second, while the revenue keeps growing and the adjusted earnings outlook is good, that slight downward tweak to GAAP EPS is, well, it's something to keep monitoring. And finally, those strategic moves like exiting the individual exchanges, pushing into digital health, they give you clues about where the company is heading and how it might perform down the road.
So yeah, piecing it all together, it looks like CVS Health is navigating a really complex healthcare world. Their strategy seems focused on using that integration and their massive reach. Strong revenue, positive adjusted earnings, those are good signs. But that gap EPS adjustment does suggest there might be some pressures under the hood.
Absolutely. And understanding these different layers of financials, the strategic decisions, the competition, it just gives you a much richer view than, just glancing at a headline. It really shows why looking at multiple pieces of information is so valuable for getting a rounded perspective.
We hope this unpacking of the materials you shared has given you a clearer picture of CVS Health's recent performance and its outlook. There's definitely more we could dig into. Maybe a closer look at that healthcare innovation segment sometime, or the long-term impact of leaving the individual exchanges. What are your initial thoughts? What stands out most to you from this overview?
And hey, if you found this analysis useful and want us to tackle other companies or topics, please do subscribe, like, and drop us a comment. It helps others find the show too.